The S&P 500 is down over 21% year to date. Countless stocks have crashed by over 50%, with many hitting multi-year lows. So why is this happening? It all comes down to an expected increase in interest rates. Warren Buffett has said interest rates are like gravity for the stock market. A large change in rates can dramatically impact the valuation of businesses. In this video, I'm going to explain exactly why the market is expecting increased interest rates, how this will impact valuations, and then share Warren Buffett's wisdom from observing decades of different interest rate environments. My name is Zach, and you should leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the video. On Friday, June 10th, 2022, the CPI inflation report showed that inflation continued accelerating. Prices are now up 8.6% year over year, the highest increase since 1981. This bucked market expectations as the last 2 months seemed to show a possible slowing in the rate of inflation. This news caused the market to drop, continuing the following week. So why is this? Well, it's expected that the Federal Reserve may now be more aggressive in raising interest rates to combat inflation. They've already started raising rates, and expectations were that they'd be at 2 to 2.75% by the end of 2022. However, now markets are speculating that the Fed will be far more aggressive. So why is it that expectations of higher interest rates cause the stock market to decline? Well, it reveals a fundamental truth about investing. That is the idea of a discount rate and opportunity cost. If you've seen my video on how to value stocks, then you should be aware of this idea. In short, the value of a business is the sum of all its future cash flows discounted back to a present value. The discount rate represents the opportunity cost of investing. The US Treasury bond is the risk-free rate you could earn on your money, making it the base rate to beat. Obviously, you wouldn't want to invest in something that is likely to have a lower return than the so-called guaranteed return of US Treasuries. In the following clip, Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger discuss the concept of using government bonds as a discount rate.
The risk-free rate is used merely to equate one item to another. In other words, we're looking for whatever is the most attractive. But in terms of present valuing anything, we're going to use a number, and obviously, we can always buy the government bond, so that becomes the yardstick rate. It doesn't mean we want to buy government bonds. It doesn't mean we want to buy government bonds if the best thing we can find is only has a present value that's works out at 0.5% a year better than the government bond. But it's the appropriate yardstick in our view to simply use to compare across all kinds of investment opportunities, oil wells, farms, whatever it may be. Now it gets into a degree of certainty too, but it's the yardstick rate. It's not because we want to buy government bonds, but it does serve to make that a constant throughout the valuation process.
You look at a corporate stock, it's obvious you can buy any maturity of government bond you want. So one opportunity cost of buying the stock is to compare it with the bond. Well, you may find that half the stocks in America you're so fearful about, or know so little about, or think so poorly of, that you'd rather have the government bond. So on an opportunity cost basis, they're taken out of the filter. Now you start finding corporations where you like the stocks way better than government bonds. You've got to compare them one against the other. And when you find one that you regard as the best opportunity, that you can understand as the best opportunity, now you've got one to buy. It's a very simple idea.
The risk-free return of government bonds is the base discount rate through which investments are valued. However, if interest rates are increased dramatically, then this will increase the yield of government bonds. Therefore, the risk-free rate of return increases. This changes the opportunity cost of investing, impacting valuations. When discussing current changes in interest rates, it's important to understand the historical context. Since 2008, we've lived in an extremely low-rate environment. often at a near zero federal fund rate. In Europe, they've even had negative rates. To understand this better, I'm going to share a clip of Warren Buffett. He explains why interest rates are like gravity for investing and how to think about changes in interest rates in a historical context.
What's happened with interest rates is really extraordinary. I mean, you could go back and read everything Keynes wrote and everything Adam Smith wrote or Ricardo wrote or Galbraith wrote or you name it. And Paul Samuelson. I mean, you won't see a word of, in my view, anything I've ever seen about sustained negative interest rates. I mean, we are doing something the world hasn't seen. It does have the effect of making all assets more valuable. I mean, interest rates are like gravity in valuations. I mean, if interest rates are nothing, values can be almost infinite. If interest rates are extremely high, that's a huge gravitational pull on values. And we had that in the early 1980s. In 1982 or 3, when the long government bond got to 15%, a company that was earning 15% on equity was worth no more than book value under those circumstances, because you could buy a 30-year strip of bonds and guarantee yourself for 15% a year. And a business that earned 12% was a subpar business then. But a business that earns 12% when the government bond is 3% is one hell of a business now, and that's why they sell for very fancy prices.
So 3% is a long way from 15% that you were just talking about. But
I watched it go from 3 to 15, though, too.
Right. Is there an inflection point on that way? Because people think, oh, my gosh, we've gone from 2.4% to 2.9%, and that's a big difference.
That's not much.
Historically speaking, that's still the way we should be measuring these things, not on the absolute movement or the percentage gain movement over time. 2.4
to 2.9 is nothing if you're comparing it with businesses that earn 12% on equity and reinvest. And the S&P, you can just look at the figures for decades, has earned on tangible equity, it's earned a lot more than that. And it translates into higher prices, and it should. It is gravity. I mean, if you told me interest rates were going to be 15% next year on long bonds, there's a lot of equities I wouldn't want to own now, and I would buy a lot of governments at 15, and I kind of wish I had it in 1982, but I didn't.
If I told you that the long bond was going to trade at 4.5% to 5% next year,
it makes a difference. But it's been idiotic to own long bonds during the last. I talk about this in the report in terms of it's just been idiotic.
Interest rates have a huge impact on stock valuations. However, by historical standards, the rate increases we're speculating about in 2022 are still peanuts. In a world with a 2, 3, 4, or 5% Fed funds rate, you would still rather own high-quality businesses than government bonds. Now, this could change if the Fed got very aggressive fighting inflation and we got Paul Volckered back into the 1980s. That is unknown, but it doesn't seem likely. The bright side of this crash is that you get a better deal on companies. Stocks trade at lower earnings multiples and higher dividend yields. You get a better bang for your buck. Even if we did return to a 1980s-like environment, think of all the opportunities that would create. All our current equities would dramatically decline in value, but we could at least buy stocks very cheap. 2022 could turn out similar to 2018 when the market corrected nearly 20% in fear of rising rates. In that scenario, it turned out to be a great buying opportunity as rates remained very low by historical standards. To add a cherry on top, there is fear that high inflation, rate increases, and the recent market crash could lead to a real recession. Some businesses are starting to cut back on spending, which is having a real impact on the economy. This is just starting to be seen in the earnings of some stocks. However, it's unclear how widespread this is and whether it will have a meaningful impact on the most high-quality businesses. There is also not a lot of evidence that consumer spending strength is being hurt yet, other than the obvious issue of inflation. Lots of economic uncertainty in 2022. It's best to remain patient and focus on investing in quality businesses you understand. Try to detach from the day-to-day market fluctuations and macroeconomic speculation. Thank you for watching Dividend Data. You can sign up for dividenddata.com to use my software and join a Discord community of like-minded investors. If you follow me on Twitter, link in the description, you can get real-time updates of my buys and dividends coming in. Please leave a comment below, and thank you for watching.